Hi there, my name is Mulani. I'm a current NYU resident, and we're going to do another case for the CCS section of Step 3. In this case, we're going to focus on a patient who's having some shortness of breath. So let's start the case. We have a 75-year-old ED for respiratory distress, 5 days, okay. Their vitals are a little concerning, a little tachy, irregularly irregular, blood pressure is a little high, breathing pretty tachypnic and not setting super great. And then we have progressive dyspnea over the last 5 days, sleeping propped up, gasping for air, shins are twice the size, has gained weight, denies any chest pain, exercise tolerance. Okay, so sounds kind of like a acutely decompensated heart failure patient, but obviously important to do a full workup. Whenever we do this, the first thing is the physical exam always, just because that with the history will really tell us if this is what we're thinking. I always, for more urgent cases, will only do the top two of both columns. If it's a GI case, then I'll add genital and rectal, but typically only top two, bottom two. And then if it's an office case, I'll just do all of them. So let's do it, okay? So respiratory distress, accessory muscles, pretty short sentences, diaphoretic, warm to touch, so that's good. But high JVD, lots of crackles, irregularly irregular, S3, distended, lots of pitting edema. It sounds very much like acutely decompensated heart failure, but we can try to get the diagnosis pretty quickly. But obviously we want to stabilize the patient. So the acronym I use here is CAMO for cardiac, access, morphine. This patient doesn't really seem like they need pain meds, but you can always give some Tylenol. And then last one is oxygen. And for cardiac, if you write cardiac, you don't actually get this hack. But if you write EKG, then you're able to get this particular hack where it'll show up EKG monitor, which is cardiac monitoring, or tele, and then a 12 lead. So let's do that. We'll get access and AccuCheck to see if there's anything else going on there. For Tylenol, we can always just give some Tylenol. And then oxygen, you have to spell it correctly. And so let me put that in again. So for oxygen, you can get regular oxygen therapy, which this guy definitely needs, an ABG and pulse ox. So we'll have a good eye on what's kind of going on. Pulse ox, okay. So we have this. Now I want to put in all of, just because nothing has changed simulation-wise, so I want to just try to diagnose this patient. And so let's go to CBC, CMP, MAG, FOS, lactate, lactic acid, just because if this person is in cardiogenic shock, that's very different in terms of management. We also probably want to get a chest x-ray for sure. We want to get an EKG. We want to get troponin, because always could be acute on chronic heart failure. Let's get a BNP. Let's consult cardiology. Let's get an echo. This should really get majority of the things that we're doing in terms of diagnosis. And then once we're like fully confirmed this is heart failure, then we'll be able to put in all of our management, workup, so on and so forth. So MAG, we want to do MAG serum. Same with FOS serum. And you'll see that I really know where each button is. We can just get a portable because it saves you a lot of time. EKG we had already ordered, but if you put it in twice, you won't ever lose points. And usually it doesn't even let you go put it in twice if you're putting it in. So you should be totally fine. Troponin, we're putting in BNP, cardiology consult, echo. All right, so let's now fast forward. In terms of fast forwarding, I used to think big mistake was, oh, you just do the with the next available result. This is supremely slow because now you just have to keep doing this and you're wasting a lot of precious time if you just keep waiting for a result. Whereas if you do call/see me as needed, it'll just, every time you get a result, you'll be able to see the result. And if that result changes management, you can then stop the timer and then put in the new orders. If it doesn't change management, then you can just keep clicking through the result. So it's way faster. And so here, okay, they have large pleural effusions, congestion, just a lot of pulmonary edema. Great. So we're feeling very confident AFib with RVR. So not only maybe they're having acutely decompensated heart failure, but maybe that stretching is leading to AFib. That's good to know because that does change a little bit. If someone's pressures are very soft, you don't want to kill their compensation. Whereas if they're AFibing with RVR, maybe that pushes us to give them a toke, things of that nature. At this point, whenever it gets to a blood test, I'm always looking for asterisk because that lets me know whether there's an abnormal value. So it seems like the patient is doing not super great, but not too bad. Just a little abnormal. The CBC looks fine. Mag-Phos is not too bad. Troponin, so barely up. I wouldn't call this ACS per se, and I wouldn't necessarily go down that way because this could probably be type 2. And then here we have the echo. EF is down. It's pleural effusions. Okay, so it looks very clearly like heart failure. So let's just stop it now and let's start managing it. The way we want to manage it is let's put in all the orders that we would want. So let's give some Lasix. In terms of the process of this, we probably want to just put them on GDMT. In real life, you never would, but like fully all at the same time. But this patient, just to maximize points, we should metope, prolol, lysine, pril, spirano, lactone, and Jardiance we can put in. So we have that. Anytime you have a patient with heart failure, we should do ins and outs. So input and output. We should have probably a diet, which is a low sodium diet. We should probably restrict water. We should get daily weights. And I think if we do this should be majority of them. We'll see if there's anything else. So we can just give IV Lasix, metope we'll give, lisinopril we'll give, spironolactone we can give, Jardiance we'll give, input out. Okay, let's see if we can broaden the search. So we can do a 2 gram sodium diet. Let's see, is this the best we got? This might be the best we got. Okay. Not applicable. Okay, let's see if we can. Is there any water restriction order? Restrict sodium and diet. We should definitely, restrict fluid intake. So we can definitely do that. So we'll confirm both of those. Okay, and so now it's saying it doesn't like that. We already ordered this once, but we'll do this. Daily weight. Okay, that it did not like. Let's see if we can just get a weight instead. And there's our weight. Okay, so now we have a lot of the orders in. And as you can see, we're approaching the 8-minute point in which the case will end. At this point, I like to think, is there anything that we're missing? And the way I think of it is, there's symptoms that they came in with. We tossed them on oxygen. We managed all of that. Then it's diagnosis. It seems like we got all of the things we would need to know for their heart failure. We got a BNP, we got a troponin, we got the EKG, we got the chest x-ray, we got the echo. We consulted cardiology, I'm pretty sure. But in case we didn't, cardiology. Okay, cardiology. Confirm. There we go. Okay. And the other thing I like to do is to do instruct and see, is there anything preventive wise that we should have this patient be aware of? We should always make sure that the patient, I like to just things like alcohol intake, illegal drug use, all of these things are just like things that I like to click. I don't know if they actually make a difference or not. Smoking cessation, even if we don't know whether the patient smokes or not, you don't lose points for it, so it's better to have way more orders than fewer orders. But I think this is probably the majority of the orders. And so at this point, let's go ahead and end the case and see what we got. Okay. All right, let's see what we did. So here we kind of did CBC. So we have a lot of the workup stuff. And so this is all diagnostic. All of the things we would want in order to make sure we do that. And then all of the management stuff. We have all these management orders. We gave Lasix, we monitored, we gave them the proper diet, fluids, weights, cardiology. We put them on GDMT. And so I think this is a fantastic case to really understand just how to get in all of the orders and the ways to approach it. So first you want to kind of stabilize the patient, then you want to diagnose, and then you want to manage and any etiology things that could be causing it. But that's this case. Let me know if there's any other questions that you have. I'm happy to answer them.